First of all, I want to say this is my first time in the chat. And I want to thank you, Armin and Goldie, for what you guys are doing. I'm American, and I didn't know anything about Pahlavi. I know nothing about Iran. They don't teach us this stuff in America. So what you guys are doing is bringing the light out. You guys are actually creating history right now. I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my question is, so Trump's like a 5D chess player, right? And I learned about Pahlavi, and I saw him go up to France and Britain and do all his talks up there. I'm just wondering, is there a possibility that Trump is secretly talking with Pahlavi to reunite the Iranian people? Because I've heard Trump a couple times talk about the Iranian people, and he always brings up the 42,000 that were martyred or killed. I don't think it's martyred, but killed in the uprising. So I'm just wondering, what is the possibility of Trump and Pahlavi cooperating together to do what they're doing?
So that's a very good question. Here's, I think, the way we should look at it. It's more of a spectrum rather than a binary. So obviously there is going to be some level of coordination and communication between Prince Reza Pahlavi's team and President Trump's administration. The question is how much, right? Because it would be obviously ridiculous that if there is zero communication or connection between these two bodies, obviously one of President Trump's main focus right now, a huge part of his focus is what's happening in Iran right now, and the Iranian people's leader is for the revolution and for the transition period is Prince Reza Pahlavi. So it would be insane if there is basically zero communication or collaboration or messaging between them, right? The question is how much of it is happening and to what degree. One thing that there are some evidence that suggests they might suggest that might be high, and there's some that suggest that maybe it's not that high. So the main thing that I could think of right now on top of my head that suggested that there's some higher level of coordination and communication than some people anticipated was Prince Reza Pahlavi coming out and telling the Iranian people to prepare for certain things a couple of times right before the American and Israelis certain operations. So, for example, before Operation Epic Fury, Prince Reza Pahlavi came out and said something that with regards to preparation right before it, which suggested that he knew something is about to happen. Then a lot of times before it, Prince Reza Pahlavi said that I know help is on the way, so don't worry, help is on the way. And we were wondering where is he getting that level of confidence from. He must know something because he's actually very conservative with his messaging. He doesn't promise something unless he knows for sure. So I've been following him for years. He's very conservative regarding what he puts out there to make sure that it's actually the right message to put out there. So when he was so confident, I was like, wow, I've never seen him so confident about something happening other than the fall of the regime. And then it happened. So that suggested to me that he was given some information that the rest of us didn't have. Mind you, it might have been not the Americans that gave him that information. It might have been also the Israelis. So we don't know. Also, so that's the second one. The third one was that before Charshamba Suri, he also suggested that he put out some messaging out there, seeming in a way that based on the events that happened after, it seemed like there was some level of coordination that there also for Charshamba Suri between Princess of Pahlavi. And I don't know, the Americans or Israelis, it's also possible that it's the Israelis. So these are the things that suggest that there is some level of coordination. Mind you, it also might be like it also would be fair if somebody comes with the analysis that it's actually the Israelis that are more in touch with Prince Reza Pahlavi more than the Americans. We don't, because Prince Reza Pahlavi's team, like Saeed Qasim Nejad, they have had a lot of trips to Israel and communication with Israel more than they have had with regime officials. And sorry, more than they have with President Trump regarding how to deal with regime officials, right? So Israelis have been talking to Prince Reza Pahlavi a lot before Operation Epic Fury and Roar of Lions, yeah. I also have some information from people who are in touch with Prince Reza Pahlavi's team and some people from Prince Reza Pahlavi's team that there are people within his team that are sometimes get frustrated with the Americans and but and they wish that the Trump administration would just listen to the Israelis. Okay. So again, so I'm giving you evidence for why there might be some high levels of coordination, but also some evidence that shows that maybe the Prince Reza Pahlavi's team is more in line with the Israelis' way of doing this rather than the Americans. And they think that, and even within Prince Reza Pahlavi's team, there seems to be an understanding that maybe the Israelis and the Iranians are more aligned with regards to what needs to happen more than the Americans and the Iranians. So that goes against, and I've seen some messages of frustration from Prince Reza Pahlavi's team with some of the decisions that comes out of Washington D.C. And there are many Iranians who think that the Islamic Republic would have been over and done with by now if the Americans would just listen to the Israelis regarding what needs to be done right now. So that goes against the high level of coordination. I'm just giving you the both for and against evidence and arguments for and against what you just said. I don't know if that answers your question. Does that answer your question? Okay, let's go next.
Yeah, it answers my question. I appreciate the response.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm going to give Jose and Samantha 26 seconds each. Go ahead.
Thank you. There's a couple of reasons why I think that Pahlavi is in touch with the Trump administration. One is Lindsey Graham. He's the one that put out the hat that said, "Make Iran great again." He has an ally there, and he has the ear of the president. Okay, the second point is I've also heard a lot from Americans as to how come he doesn't mention Pahlavi. Come on, guys, if you're an American here, you know how many times Trump's been a target of assassin. Okay, and we're hearing about all these cases being thrown out by liberal judges because the Miranda right wasn't read to them, or this or that, or whatever reason, okay, of people that directly threaten the president or were trying to hire people to kill the president. Yeah, I think if Trump would actually endorse Pahlavi, he would survive the week? I don't, because there's enough people that will go after him just because Trump immediately endorsed him. That's all I got to say.
And Samantha also wants to respond.
Yeah, I don't think Trump is a 5D chess player person. I don't like Bibi or Rubio, but I think Bibi and Rubio are like people who can play 5D chess, and I see them as people who are able to give Trump good advice on how to handle the situation. And yeah, Pahlavi's been to Israel, and what's it called? So he's obviously been, Pahlavi's been in touch with Netanyahu. There's videos of them together, and I would be very shocked if he isn't in touch with Trump.
So actually, what Samantha is saying is the view of, so Iranians, anti-regime pro-Pahlavi Iranians are divided on this. There are many Iranians who think that Trump is great and we should just trust in Trump and he knows what he's doing. But there are also many Iranians who believe exactly what Samantha said. And there are many Iranians who actually think that if Rubio was president, we would have already finished and gotten rid of the Islamic Republic by now. So many Iranians absolutely love the way Rubio speaks, and they think his understanding of the Islamic Republic and the Iranian people is far beyond anybody within the United States government. They say no other politician within the United States understand Iran and the Islamic Republic and the Iranian people more than Rubio.
100%. He's still not a good person, but he understands what's going on.
He's a great person.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah. So Sketch had it too. Are we doing Sketch?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Samantha what she doesn't like about Rubio.
We're not doing that.
I know you
I
hate
wanna
Trump.
go- So if you want to ask Samantha that, do it after I leave, because then you guys could talk with each other on this. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. But Sketch had it too,
Okay.
Danny. Is that okay?
Yeah, Sketch, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, what I wanted to say is that Trump knows the effect that he has when he backs someone. The second Trump backs Pahlavi, that's going to put the eye of Sauron from the left on him. That's going to make a whole bunch of articles. It's going to put a whole media machine on him. I think he's backing up from Pahlavi, not because he doesn't support him, but because he does, for his own protection. I think he wants outside sources to back him. He might back him silently. He might talk to him, but he's not going to go up here and publicly put the eye of Sauron on him. And what would Rubio do? That would be great. But what we have now is this. I would love to see Rubio come to power. I do think he would handle this faster and maybe better. Who knows? But as we're dealing with it now, I do not think that it would be wise, and Trump knows this, for him to push Pahlavi, because then if Pahlavi is chosen, what everyone is going to say, oh, this was Trump's guy. This was them pushing someone into power. This does not come from inside Iran. And he wants it to be the people that scream his name.
I actually agree with President Trump not directly coming out and supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi for that reason until it's official, okay? Just because we want to make sure that it's known internationally that it was us who picked Prince Reza Pahlavi, it wasn't picked for us. However, the argument against this is that those people who we are talking about that would attack us, attack Prince Reza Pahlavi, if Trump said that, they're already attacking Prince Reza Pahlavi. It's not going to be, they're not waiting for this. They're not going to be like, oh, we're just waiting for President Trump to support Prince Reza Pahlavi for us to come against him. That is their job 24/7 already. So if that's what some people are saying, that regarding this response that we have every time, they're like, oh yeah, unlike right now, which they're not attacking Prince Reza Pahlavi at all. So that's the counterpoint to that.
And Jeffrey, literally 2 sentences because I'm way behind.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as someone who went to school with Rubio's chief foreign policy advisor during my post-grad days 12 years ago, I can tell you that then Senator, now Secretary of State Rubio is one of the most decent people that's ever been in the U.S. government, hands down.